Senator, real quick question. If you don't mind walking and talking to me on the way out. Yeah. Can you give me your, take on the National Defense Authorization Act?
Oh, sorry. Well, there are lots of elements in there that I think are very positive.
Yes, sir.
Including a pay raise for the men and women of our military. I think that is long overdue. And our soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines who risk their lives to keep us safe, we need to stand up and defend them.
Yes, sir. Are you concerned about the spying on American citizens by the intelligence agencies, the FBI, that basically these organizations have been abusing that power for years? Why are we funding them?
Look, I'm very concerned about surveillance and spying by the Biden administration, and I have spent 11 years.
Obama.
True, no doubt, but it's particularly bad right now.
Yes, sir.
And I have been active for a long time in fighting to defend the privacy rights of American citizens.
Okay.
You look at Section 702, it is directed at foreigners. It's directed at people who are not Americans, who are not in America.
Yes, sir.
And the Constitution and Bill of Rights does not apply to foreigners outside of America. So they don't have a Fourth Amendment right if they're a terrorist in Yemen,
yes, sir,
planning violence here. And so that provision is important. Now, you're exactly right that we've seen the government under Democrats and Republicans abuse the data collected under 702, and in particular, if you have a foreigner call an American citizen, that call could be intercepted. And there have been multiple chronicled instances of abuse of law enforcement searching U.S. citizens. I've long advocated reforms to protect the privacy of U.S. citizens. And one of the reasons why I voted for the NDAA is the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who's a strong conservative. He has pledged this spring to take up and work to pass reforms to protect citizens' privacy.
Okay.
And Mike is a friend, I trust him, I want to work with him to get that done.
And can we defund these agencies until that happens?
I think defunding the agencies would be terrible. Listen, there are a lot of enemies that hate America. You look at Hamas and what they did in Israel.
Right.
They want to do the same thing in America. And so the idea that we would defund the national security agencies that are protecting Americans.
I mean, they're not. Look at the border right now.
Well, they're not. You're right. They're not doing everything.
I mean, look, there's Hamas, there's all these terrorist cells in the United States. And yeah, the Biden administration, past administrations have done nothing about that. So, and they're more focused on January 6th detainees than everyone else.
And there is no one in the Senate that has fought harder to secure the border. You are right, it's an absolute dereliction of duty on the border. But the answer when you have a federal government that is failing to protect our citizens is not to eliminate the law enforcement agencies that are doing some good stopping bad guys. There are real terrorists that want to commit real murders in the United States. And my consistent refrain is they need to focus on the bad guys and stop targeting U.S. citizens.
Fair enough. And final question then for you, because I know you got to get going. How do you get rid of the bad actors in these agencies?
It's a huge problem. I actually the last book I wrote was entitled Justice Corrupted, How the Left has Weaponized Our Legal System. And it explains in detail exactly how partisans have burrowed into senior career positions within law enforcement, within intelligence.
Yes.
You need a president that has the strength and capability to burrow out those partisans. You need to appoint leaders of the agencies who will fire the partisans and clean house. The answer is not to get rid of the FBI, say. Look, the FBI, there are bad people who are trying to hurt Americans. The FBI should be targeting the bad guys, not American citizens. What we need to do is get rid of the corrupt leadership at the FBI that's misusing it.
Understood. Appreciate it, Senator.
Take care.
Thank you for your time again.